Hey guys, this is Late Boy Scout. I'm here in the garage today and I want to talk to you about Duracoat Aerosol. I'm going to talk to you about some of the advantages of using this, maybe some of the disadvantages of choosing this over the standard Duracoat setup. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can win this exact can of Magpul Flat Dark Earth Aerosol Duracoat. Stick around. All right, so let's start off by talking about the can, talk about how much it costs, how you use it, all that. When you receive this can, first let's back up. How much does it cost? Around $30 to $40, depending on where you pick it up. If you get it straight from Duracoat, I think their price is $38, something like that. And there's different varieties and different combinations you can get to spend a little more money or a little less money. But if you Google Duracoat Aerosol, you go straight to their website, get all the options, see all the colors, and get a pretty good instructional on how it's used. And I'll give you a quick idea of how it's used right now. So when you get your can, you want to give it a good shaking for about 2 minutes, I think? Yes, right, 2 minutes or so. You shake that up, you can hear that in there. Shake it up really well for about 2 minutes. You've got a little red cap on top of the actual cap, and then you've actually got 2 spray nozzles in there. You can see the white one rattling around as well as a black one that's already connected. So that's just if you wanted to, one gets clogged up, you've got a spare. But you pull this red cap off of here, then you actually place it down here on the bottom. See this pin right there? You place it over that pin and then press that in really hard until it breaks the inner can. And that's kind of the key with this, is there's a can within a can. The inner can has the hardener. Okay? Duracoat, as you're probably aware, has sort of the pigment inside of that substrate and then a hardener as well that has to mix with all of that. And that's what makes Duracoat, right? So when you break open that inner can with the hardener, then you release that into the can, you shake it up for another 2 minutes to get it properly, integrated, and then your Duracoat is ready to spray on. And then it's, just apply it like you would anything else from a good distance, not far obviously, but a fair distance away from your stuff to keep the mist fairly fine and good coverage and all that. I would say also, if you're going to do it in a garage or something like that, have great ventilation, have a fan going. Don't have your cars right outside the garage like I did, because you will get little flecks of Duracoat on your car. And that was my mistake. I had to clean that up later. I would say keep the area around, if you have valuable things you don't want Duracoat getting on, like for instance a camera lens, I would say keep that stuff far away, because it's going to float around, it's going to land on stuff, and it gets very hard once it does settle and dry. So be aware of all that as you're applying it, then just kind of follow every other rule that you would for spray painting something. I would also use like a dust mask or some other sort of covering for your mouth and your eyes if you can, and because you don't want to breathe this stuff, not for very long. It will make you kind of dizzy and not that good. A few other points like that, but you can read all those directions on the back of the can. But that's basically how it works. That's what you get with the Duracoat Aerosol. Like I said before, it comes in lots of different colors. That's really cool. Now somebody is gonna win this can of Duracoat Aerosol, so stick around. I'm gonna explain how that works shortly. But first, let me tell you about some of the projects I have used it for, some of the projects I'm actually started to use it for, but I'm actually stripping it back off and how I'm doing that. Because that's something worth knowing too. How do you remove Duracoat if you want to remove it? So I'll get to that in a second. Here's the main project that I bought my 2 cans for. The 2 cans I bought are Matte Black, right there, and Flat Dark Earth. Okay, and I went through both of these cans. They are used up. Another last point I want to talk about is once you start using that can of Aerosol Duracoat, you've got to use it up probably within 12 hours. That's my experience, my personal experience. It's about 12 hours is about how much time you have before it starts to get a little sputtery and thick and just not working well. I tried using this Matte Black actually the next day after the first application, or the first main application. The next day it came out in big kind of spurts and wasn't working well. It did still get some coverage, and this is the Star Super B frame that I sprayed that onto. You can see now though, it's got a little bit of a hammered finish or appearance to it, and that's as a result of that second coat that came out sort of sputtering the next day. So that was almost 24 hours later, and it just didn't work nearly as well. So I would say the can says 24 to 48 hours. I would say use it up within 12 hours if you want to have good, consistent coverage. Okay, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that is one of the projects I worked on. And there's the slide, which looks pretty nice actually. Nice and matte, but also good looking. The slide to the Star Super B from J&G Sales, by the way. You can pick that up there. Just a really fine looking gun now. It's going to be as soon as I get it back together. It's still got another week or so to cure. And that's one last point. With spray paint or Duracoat or whatever, when you're coating something, you've got to give it curing time. Duracoat curing time is like 3 to 4 weeks. It's kind of a long time. Okay, you spray your gun, you get it completely covered. It's going to be almost a month before you can play with it again. So bear that in mind. Is it worth doing? If you're to do it with spray paint, Krylon, or something like that, you got to give it a good amount of time to cure as well. And it's still going to chip eventually, but you got to give it some curing time. So no matter what you're painting or coating your gun with, you've got to let it cure, right? Just know that Duracoat, at least the aerosol version, like 3 to 4 weeks, you got to let it cure. Okay, so that's one last point about using it. So what did I use? I told you that I used the Star Super B, and then I've coated that one. I also did the grip panel here in Flat Dark Earth. Once we get those two pieces together, man, it is going to look so freaking good. I cannot wait to get that gun back together. It's going to look awesome. The last thing, another thing that I used Duracoat on that I'm actually stripping it off of, and that's the point I mentioned earlier, is this right here. This is a rail made by Midwest Industries. It came on an upper that I bought from Palmetto State Armory. And this is a, I think, 12 or 13 inch upper, or sorry, handguard. But that key mod rail there it looks cool in black, and I feel like now I probably should have left it black. So I have a black gun and a non-black gun. The non-black gun here I'll show you in a second, but I've decided after coating this that I'm going to strip it all off again. I just want it black. And part of that is because, yeah, again, I just kind of want one gun to be just black, but also the Duracoat that I bought, I kind of expected it to go a little further than it actually did. So I ended up with kind of thin spots and thick spots on this, and it just didn't work as well as I thought it would. I've also got right here a minimalist stock, Battle Link stock, that is fantastic, and I should have probably not coated that either. So I'm going to go to black with that. I've also got a Magpul K2 grip that's being stripped right now. In fact, I might as well bring you over for 1 second and let you look at what's happening here. You can see the K2 grip as well as one of the parts to that Battle Link stock. And those are being stripped right now. And what am I stripping that with? Sorry, we'll get you a little shaky and put you right back. I'm using this stuff right here. I'll move you in. Sorry guys, we're doing all this in one take. We're using this stuff right here, Clean Strip Premium Stripper. All right, and this stuff is pulling it off pretty well so far. I've read from forums and stuff that this stuff works well for removing Duracoat, so that's what I decided to try out. Now, so one of the other reasons I decided to have one gun that was just all black and another gun that's not is, well, the gun that I'm setting up right now, the PSA gun, it's really just going to be, the whole purpose of it is to have a faster, lighter gun, something that I could potentially use for competition one day, something I could use for training, that I could just, get the best times I possibly can with this particular gun. That's really the whole goal. I want it to be light, fast, simple, and so why not just leave it all black? So that's what I'm going to do. Besides that, there's no reason to have two guns completely done up in FDE. If you like variety, then you might as well have one all black while the other one is done up in FDE. This is my M&P Sport, Smith & Wesson M&P Sport, with that Vortex Op Mod Strike-Fire 2 on top of it. That is exclusive to Optics Planet. Then it's also got this 15-inch UTG rail on it. It's a fantastic rail. I'll show you that in more detail in the future. But it's a very affordable rail. It's Cerakoted in Flat Dark Earth, which matches perfectly to the Magpul Flat Dark Earth, in my opinion, about as perfect as I can imagine. Got the Magpul foregrip on there, a vertical grip. We've got the Inforce WML in Flat Dark Earth, the K2 grip from Magpul in Flat Dark Earth. So I've really kind of done up my M&P Sport to be, kind of a rough and tumble gun that's set up with all the stuff that I want on it. It's not overdone, doesn't have lasers and lots of other heavy stuff that it doesn't need, but it's got, everything I kind of want on it. Also the MOE SL stock, which I'm really loving right now. So that gun is done up all in FDE. That's really cool. Why have the other gun done up in FDE? I thought I might as well differentiate, have one of them done up all black, one of them done up all FDE. So that's kind of the reason I'm going about stripping the Duracoat that I have done, again, on pieces like this, stripping it off, and just going to go all black. But I'm telling you that more as, you know, as a gesture of transparency to let you know that while I think that this Duracoat stuff is really cool, the Aerosol Duracoat is really cool, I don't think I necessarily need it on all my guns or all my pieces. And so yeah, this can right here happened to fall into my hands when I reached out to Duracoat, let them know that the cans that I bought didn't stretch as far as I thought they would, and would they mind sending me a replacement can or another can so that I could finish the job. They were happy to do that, and I'm happy to pass their generosity on to you. So one of you guys are going to win this can of Magpul Flat Dark Earth Aerosol Duracoat. All you got to do is be over 18, be in the United States, and leave a comment down below telling me what you would like to put this Aerosol Duracoat on. What's the project? What is it you want to try to do? What is it you want to coat? Is it a gun? Is it something else? What do you want to color in Magpul Flat Dark Earth with that Aerosol Duracoat? Let me know that down in the comments section below, and in about a week or so I'll pick one of you guys and you will win that can of Duracoat. That's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I think that the Duracoat Aerosol is a great product. It does save you the expense of having to invest in you know, all that really expensive, not super expensive, but it can be expensive equipment to get into that airbrushing stuff. So instead of investing in that, just invest in one can of Aerosol Duracoat and you're pretty much set. Thank you very much for watching. Whoever wins, I hope you enjoy the can of Duracoat. I'm the late Boy Scout. I'll see you guys later.
Let's get just the clip and the bottom of the knife.
Okay, good idea.
So we got shoot. Gosh, dude, I don't know.
Crockett?
I wish I could tell you what
Hazard,
those
I
are.
guess?